Hi, I'm James at Bespoke Airsoft and welcome back to another episode of Bringing It Home, and we're taking another look at the DT4 series because they've released some new models in these new funky colours that they're doing, so stay tuned and we'll get straight into it. So love it or hate it, you've got to respect this thing for what it is. It's a double-barreled M4 that uses a single motor and a single set of gears to pull a dual piston design back and forth, which gives you 2 hop units, gives you 2 barrels, it gives you 2 magazines, so you've got to keep this thing going. So just like the other DT4 that we've loosely covered before on this channel, many features you can see similar to the LS12s that we reviewed earlier in the week. Polymer stock here, which is the same as the one on the LS12. We've got a metal stock tube here, plastic grip, metal upper and lower receivers, and handguard, which is an M-LOK style, so your M-LOK accessories will fit this. But of course, the difference that we've got two barrels. So yeah, we've got 2 barrels on this thing, 2 hop units, 2 magazines feeding us ammo, but we've got 1 motor and 1 lower gearbox design. This thing, love it or hate it, you've got to respect it for what it is. The double barrel saga that WE started with the 1911 and the Makarov, and it's so unwieldy and just we sell them, of course. We want you guys to buy them. It's not the easiest pistol to field because it's so chunky. The grip is twice the size as well, so it makes it more unwieldy than the single style version of that pistol, whichever one you're looking at. But Classic Army have done something so much better with the DT4. They've kept it simple. So unlike the WE double barreled gas pistols that they do, Classic Army have kept the pistol grip nice and slim as what is found on their usual M4 series, and the lower half of the gearbox is 1 set of gears, but it does pull back a dual piston design, which is where you get the double barreled aspect of this rifle. So it's really usable. The handguard is obviously much wider, but it's not so much to a point that it's unwieldy. You can fit all your M-LOK accessories on here, so you've got, you know, your vertical grips and such forth, tact lights, anything that M-LOK is supporting can fit on this rifle. So the same as the LS12s, this DT4 features this polymer style grip with this quick detach feature on the motor. You can see obviously a different motor there because it's probably going to have to be higher torque to pull back these 2 springs. This system, love it or hate it, it has pros, it has cons. I'll let you make up your decision on that. However, the plastic is a little bit glossier than I'd like, but you can switch this out with the likes of your aftermarket version 2 or M4 styled grips and motors, long shaft motors that is. Flat style trigger here, the usual micro switch and electronic system that Classic Army put in most of their releases now. The bolt locks to the rear by pulling it back, locks under its own pressure, and then you've got a bolt release on the left hand side only, so this is not ambidextrous on the bolt release, but it sounds good, which is not a bad thing. Ambidextrous fire selector, semi-safe and full auto. Mag release can be found on the right hand side only, and the way you're firing this thing, you're probably going to want to put 2 full mags on here, and then you're very rarely going to be ejecting one mag over the other. You know, if you're firing this thing as it's intended to be, as long as you keep both mags wound, they should be feeding the same amount of ammo and you should be emptying them both at the same time. 2 polymer style 300 round high cap magazines are included in the box of this rifle, and you can see nice flared mag wells there to put the magazines in nice and easy. Metal flash hiders, which is a great function. Metal flash hiders here fitted out of the box, no polymer stuff like we've featured on the show previously, and the same styled cheaper iron sights. Classic Army, you do a lot good, but please, you're fitting the same iron sights on models that are really cheap compared to really expensive. These things, they are metal, but they're loose, they're janky. Great to have them out of the box than to not have them, but you know, it's got to be mentioned. A little bit loose fitting, not the greatest quality, but you know, Most people are going to be putting some kind of optic on here anyway, whether it be a red dot or an optic. Loads of battery space in here as similar to the LS12s. Loads of 20mm Picatinny rail space on the top here. And honestly, can I find a role for this rifle to be in? Maybe, if you're not sort of wanting to don the full support role and run like an M249, an LMG, a minigun for instance, because Classic Army do those as well. We have them in stock on the website as well as all the models that we've reviewed here on this show. If you are massively into M4s, if you like the gimmick of the dual barrels, you know, you're going to have fun with this thing. Love it or hate it, you fire this thing and it is so much fun. Every pull of the trigger, you're firing 2 rounds. The full auto is really, really pleasing. And let's get a battery on this thing. So unlike James May and the Grand Tour, we love continuity on this series. Same 11.1 2200 milliamp battery. I'm just going to remove the plate on the stock here. Let's pop this magazine in. There is someone at the Classic Army factory that does this with all their rifles that we reviewed this week, and they use silver wire, which is nice, but whoever told them to then go over all the guns that are leaving the factory and to paint the Tamiya partially the wire with red Sharpie to depict which obviously wire is positive and negative, really, you know, just it's really not needed. I mean, who are they saying this to? Are they saying that the consumer is an idiot and they can't put a Tamiya on right? I mean, it only goes on one way. Heat shrink, Classic Army, heat shrink, would be nice. Let's put this battery on here. We have an 11.1 2200 milliamp battery, semi-auto. You can feel the power. It feels twice as powerful. Same spring twang as what we discovered in the LS12s. Again, this is a really easy issue to resolve. Take the gearbox apart, spring guides and the rear of the spring, just coat them in like a silicone grease and it will remove that spring twang noise perfectly fine. Again, Classic Army, do this from the factory, guys. It's you know, it's a simple thing. Everybody knows it. Do it from the factory. Consumer won't have to worry about it. Flick it to full auto. God, this thing is loud, it feels powerful, it feels like you're putting out twice the firepower compared to like a normal M4 with a single barrel. But I'll tell you what, let's fill these magazines up with some BBs, let's chrono this thing. We're going to have to chrono the barrels one by one to save us shooting the chrono in half. And then we're going to head to the accuracy test, which I really don't know how this is going to go, guys, to be honest. But let's chrono this thing and we'll be right back on camera. So we're going to do the left barrel first and the right barrel second. So what you'll see there from the chrono results is we actually had 2 different values from each barrel. So the left hand side barrel was a little bit lower than the right hand side barrel. That might just be a case of how this is settled from the factory, grease and whatever, so have you, O-ring on the piston. But what you will find next is how it sort of carries on to the accuracy test. So I'll put that up on the screen now. Fire a single shot a few times and then I'll just let rip, because let's face it, you're buying this to do full auto, you want to put out twice the amount of ammo, you want to just put the firepower down the field. So we'll cut to that just now and you'll see in a 10-meter accuracy test. Gotta be honest, guys, I'm dreading this. So the accuracy test, you'll see they're just a little bit, depending on how you're looking at me at the screen, it might have been a little bit that way. So left hand barrel was down here, right hand barrel was up here. I haven't messed with this out of the box. The hop could be set different on each barrel, but I've got to be impartial with every rifle that we do and pistol that we do when bringing it home. I'm literally putting 0.2 gram BBs in the magazines, putting them in the gun, putting the battery on, and just firing at a target at 10 meters. Of course, with all the guns that we review on this show, you probably could get better results, whether you're putting heavier ammo, you're setting the hops, really dialing them in. But this is just literally out of the box as it is, and there's no sort of me getting involved with changing bits here and there, and that's as unbiased as I can be. Left hand side cylinder was putting out a little bit less pressure than the right hand side cylinder. I don't know whether this is a case with all of them out of the box. I imagine this is just this sample that I have here. With that 309, it would be on point with what the LS12s are doing. I mean, the way that this system works, I wouldn't expect one side to be lower than the other on every rifle. I dare say it's just a case that the piston isn't sealing as well as the right hand side. But I've had absolute fun with this thing. It is one of those gimmicks where it's a double barrel thing, but I think in terms of a double barrel gimmick, this is the most usable one you can find on the market in comparison to the pistols and stuff that WE does. Like it or hate it, literally, if you see someone at your local field with one of those things, just go and ask if you can have a blast with it, because this is tons of fun. Firing it on full auto. The first thing that I want to do is I want to put 2 tracer units on there, and I just want to fire like a TIE fighter, because that's what I imagine it would be. Green tracers, you know, 2 inches apart, bap, 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 and it, you know, most fields aren't going to let you do that kind of fire rate in times of CQB and such, but woodlands, you know, if you in the winter when it's getting a little bit darker, 2 trace units on there if you can afford to put the 2 trace units on there. This is of course 14mm counterclockwise thread. Slimline trace units you're going to need to make sure they don't foul each other. Anything thicker in diameter is obviously going to cause you an issue, but this is great fun to shoot. It is literally just 2 cylinders to 1 lower half gearbox. These aren't the cheapest rifles on the market, I can fully understand that. It's nice that Classic Army are doing these in the different colours now. We've got the black, we've got the grey, and we've got the bronze, of course. And it's nice if, let's, okay, let me put my sort of airsoft head on and say, like, if I was as an airsoft looking in, would I find a space in my sort of airsoft armoury for this thing? If I've got the budget there, yes, I can see it. If you're looking at picking up a rifle that for your sole purpose, let's say you don't have an M4 but you want to buy an M4, this is a little bit extreme if you want to run it on all fields, because I imagine some fields will be a little bit sort of funny with this thing. But if you've got the money and you want to have a blast, this thing, just like other things that we've done on the show, is just an absolute fun to shoot. And the amount of noise this thing makes, I mean, firing it on full auto is da 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 da. You know, it's twice the cylinders, twice the inner barrels, twice the hop units, just chucking out that ammo, and you want to hold full auto down. That's the type of thing that I'm trying to put across here. You want to hold full auto. You want to put some targets up in your garden with the, you know, sort of destructible. I just let rip with this thing and cause some destruction. So what I will say is, if you're using one of these things on the field, please respect those other airsofters that will be on the receiving end of this. But if you say you're assaulting a building, you want to put some fire down to keep people's heads down while your team advances, you know what's better. You might as well, you could do the same thing with 2 M4s, you know, 2 regular M4s, and just putting the fire down. But you haven't got to do that with this, because it's all engineered in the package for you. I had great fun with this thing. I hope you have too. Please hit the subscribe and the bell notification to be notified when we put new videos up, and hit the like button if you like this video. I've had some fun with this thing. It is a bit of a gimmick, yes, but he's the most usable double barrel gimmick out there on the market, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bibs, Loki. Hey everyone, this is Loki and he is a twat. He will mess with everything, he will cause disturbances, and he'll also moan in the middle of the night to get attention that he doesn't want because he's the most gothic cat I've ever come into contact with. I'll remove him from the room and we'll get back into the review of the DT4. In classic Army week, then when they release. And if you like this sort of thing, stay tuned because we've got a review for you. See you in a moment. Got a review for you. Got a review for you. You know, this bronze colour is absolutely amazing. We'll get to it in just a moment. Yes, we're looking at the Start from the beginning. Finlandia! Finlandia, help me! I'm James at Bespoke Airsoft and welcome back to another episode of Bringing It Home. Yes, we're having some fun tonight because we've taken another look at the... For fuck's sake! Hi, I'm James at Bespoke Airsoft and welcome to another episode of Bringing It Home, and we're having some fun tonight because we've taken an... Just shoot me now. People are going to get fed up with you repeating yourself.